This is your Daily X Report, and we're about to break down all the key moments from Monday, September 1st, 2025.
All right, let's jump right in. Here's what happened yesterday on X, September 1st, 2025, and what really defined the last 24 hours. Okay, first up, let's hit the day's top stories. This is a quick snapshot of what really got everyone talking across the globe.
So, the big takeaway from yesterday? It was a day of real contrasts. You had these super intense debates about immigration on one side, and then massive entertainment trends on the other. And then, woven right through all of that, was the platform itself. We're talking creator payout problems, some important tech updates, and even a viral death hoax that really put community notes through its paces.
All right, let's dive into the day's most heated topic. Yesterday, X basically turned into this global arena for a really charged debate all about immigration in Europe. And the spark that lit this whole thing up? It really came from Elon Musk. He started highlighting and amplifying posts that talked about crime and cultural changes in Europe, and boom, that just set off an absolute firestorm of conversation that pretty much raged all day long.
And you can really see the split here. The whole conversation broke down into two main camps. On one side, you had people sharing their personal stories, posting news articles, and really demanding that their governments do something, that they change their policies. But then, on the other side, you had folks raising some serious red flags about the language being used. They were worried that the whole tone of the debate was just getting way too divisive.
You know, this kind of leads us perfectly into our next big story. When you have a platform with such intense debates, you're also going to have to deal with misinformation. And yesterday was just a perfect case study in how a rumor can catch fire, and more importantly, how the community can rally to put it out. So, the biggest piece of fake news yesterday started out pretty simple, but man, it spread incredibly fast. A rumor started flying around that a major political figure had suddenly passed away.
And to be specific, we're talking about posts that claimed Donald Trump had died. Now, these weren't just your typical text posts. They were actually pretty sophisticated, using what looked like AI-generated content and some sneaky, misleading links to make it all seem legit. And yeah, it definitely caused a bit of panic and confusion for a while there. But here's what's really interesting. This is where the platform's own immune system kind of kicked in. As the fake posts started going viral, the corrections started going viral right alongside them. A community note popped up with links to official sources that totally debunked the whole thing. It got a ton of upvotes from users, which basically neutralized the rumor and stopped it in its tracks by the evening.
Okay, let's shift gears a little. Let's move from the content on the platform to the platform itself. How was the experience yesterday? You know, for both the average person just scrolling their feed and for the creators who are trying to make a living on here.
And that's a really important question, right? With so much going on, was the app even working? Did creators feel like they were being supported? Well, the answer yesterday was kind of a mixed bag. The good news? The Grok AI app got some nice performance-boosting updates. But that was definitely balanced out by some real frustration from creators and regular users alike.
So for creators, there was a lot of frustration bubbling up. A whole bunch of them in the Creator Revenue Program started reporting that their payouts were suddenly paused, with no warning. And because there wasn't a clear reason why, everyone started speculating. Was it an algorithm change, a verification issue? It really led to a lot of calls for more transparency and just a more reliable system overall.
And it wasn't just creators running into problems. Regular users, especially on the mobile app, had some technical headaches too. A lot of people were saying the app was crashing when they tried to view a profile, or that their feeds just wouldn't load at all. Now, it seems like most of the stuff got fixed by the evening, but it was still a pretty frustrating experience for a lot of folks during the day.
But of course, X is never just about the serious stuff and the tech bugs, right? It's also a gigantic hub for culture and entertainment. And yesterday was definitely no different. I mean, just look at this number. Over 170,000 posts for just one event. The hashtag WWE Clash was an absolute monster trend. Wrestling fans basically took over the entire platform in the evening, sharing match highlights, GIFs, all their hot takes. Everything was happening in real time.
And hey, it wasn't just wrestling. Formula One fans were out there in full force too. The Dutch Grand Prix pulled in over 160,000 mentions. It just goes to show you how powerful the platform is as that second screen when you're watching live sports. Switching over to the funnier side of things, the big meme of the day was definitely tell everyone. The format is super simple. People just set up some kind of absurd or really relatable scenario. It was so easy to adapt. Even celebrities started doing it, and the different versions just racked up millions and millions of views.
And if you just needed a dose of pure, simple joy, double popcat videos were absolutely everywhere. They're these short, cute clips of cats, but they have a second mouth edited on, which creates this hilarious, charming effect. It was just impossible not to share them. A perfect little light-hearted viral moment.
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. What does everything that happened on September 1st tell us about what we should be watching for next?
When you boil it down, the story of yesterday was really one of duality. On the one hand, X was the stage for incredibly serious, often divisive global debates. And at the exact same time, it was a playground for shared culture, for memes, for entertainment. And you know, that tension between the two, that's really the heart of what the platform is. So, looking ahead, here's what we're keeping an eye on. We'll be watching to see if these immigration debates get any kind of official response from leaders. On the tech front, everyone's waiting for the next updates to Grok AI. And crucially, the creator community is really looking for a fix for those payout pauses. And after that hoax yesterday, you can bet the power and the limits of community notes is going to be a huge topic of conversation.
And that is your snapshot of what went down yesterday on X. This has been the Daily X Report by MakeXGreat.com. Subscribe now and come back tomorrow for the latest report.
The Daily X